Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Juicebox and Danny. Unfortunately, for the second week in a row and probably the foreseeable future, poor Matt is predisposed, we'll say, living his best life with his little man.
He's at an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed
A
location.
local medical facility.
So, no Matt tonight, but the show must go on. And since we have 4th of July this Thursday, we figured we'd change it up a little bit, give you a nice special Tuesday show. We'll keep it nice and short today. And let's see how we go. So, as always, let's get started with our trivia.
Yeah, I'm feeling it today. Yeah. Before we dive in, just want to acknowledge it's our 50th episode. Big 5-0. Milestone in history.
Big 5-0.
Historians will look back and remember this day. Where were you? We're here watching us.
Hey, Tasmanian Devil. Thank you. Welcome to our Big 50.
Oh, Big 5-0. But yeah, if you're here watching, before we also dive in, just you do have a minute, please be sure to follow the stream. Be sure to like us, support us in any way you can. Also, see below for all the options on how you can support us. All of our socials are there. Our YouTube, our Twitter, and here, our Twitch, which you seem to have found, which is great. And also, do be sure to subscribe to us. You can support us if you'd like. And also, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account, and you get one free sub to use to us. So it's free. You can give it to us every month, and it helps support us and gives us funds to build and grow the show. So we can do episode 100. So we'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And with that, let's go to the trivia. So Daniel, there have been 30 Money in the Bank cash-ins.
There have been 30?
30 Money in the Bank cash-ins.
That's crazy.
How many were unsuccessful in winning the championship?
Oh,
this is
man.
Men and women.
God,
men and women. There's been 30. How many were failed title wins?
It's definitely single digits. I know off the top of my head, like 2 to 3. I know Sandow didn't get it. I know Jinder. Was it Jinder? I think it was Jinder. I know Jinder didn't get one. RVD cashed in. John Cena, I think, won his. Edge got both of his. I'm going to say 4.
So you were close. The answer is 5.
Motherfucker.
And also, Jinder Mahal was never winning the bank.
Jinder Mahal was one, right? I was trying to think of who was the one who cashed in and... Oh, not Jinder Mahal. That was that Swagger who cashed in and lost?
No, Swagger won. So the 5 were... So the first one that was unsuccessful was Cena.
Okay.
He cashed in on Punk, and Cena won that match by DQ, but he didn't get the belt. What?
That's the one where he called out in advance. I think
like a week in advance. Yeah. So Cena was the first. Second one was Sandow. Then there was Corbin, Theory, and then Braun Strowman when he cashed in advance again in the Hell in a Cell, and it was a no contest.
Strowman,
again,
I completely forgot about. The other ones, as you said, I'm like, yep. Strowman completely forgot about.
Yeah, those were the dark times, though. Like, that was, like, right when AEW started, and, like, they just did, like, Cain Velasquez was chilling, like, Brock just beat Kofi. Right. Yeah, bad times.
That was so
But, yeah, 5. See, and it's funny because I didn't watch Raw, so in my head, I thought of the question. I'm like, this is going to be a good question, but then I was like, well, if they did a Money in the Bank by the numbers, they might have, like, said the percentage, and he might figure it out.
So when you said Money in the Bank, I was hoping that because the only thing they said on Raw about Money in the Bank was that CM Punk was the only person to successfully cash in back-to-back.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, is that the question? Idiot. But
no. Come on, I'm better than that. Come on now. Oh! Man down. That's it, Danny. You lost the title. It's over. You relinquished. It's over.
Apropos, I'm wearing the Legion of Doom shirt, and the tag belts fell to me.
They were in the Final Four, right?
Yeah, they should have been the champion, but they got screwed by my co-host. Sons
Hey,
of
it's
bitches.
2 out of 3, man. That's how it goes.
I
Sometimes the
mean,
cookie doesn't
everyone
crumble.
knows. Everyone knows, but it's all right. I'm over it. I've let it go. We're going to other things, or we've been
Yes.
to other places actually. Because this past Sunday we were at Forbidden Door for one of the greatest pay-per-views I've ever seen. So if we want to get the predictions page up, so we can talk about Forbidden Door, we'll just
Sure.
show the audience our
What a night.
little results. It was a crazy
What
night.
a what a night.
Proud of, shout out to the
Insane.
producer, lasting all 5 hours. Maybe
Hey,
maybe not trying to last the fifth hour, but made it there.
I don't know. He was out a little bit there. One of the matches. I forget which
The
one,
Mercedes Moné match
but
bored him to death. But
I looked
after
over
that,
and I was like, oh, he's out.
yeah, the last two matches really woke him back up, so he was fine after that.
That's interesting. We'll get to that though. Yeah.
So
Wow. So 15 matches,
that was crazy,
5+ hours of wrestling.
and I feel like the 15
In
match got added in at the last second too, because like it was opening match, and we were just like, "What the fuck? Oh shit!" We were texting Matt real quick to get his prediction. It was crazy.
I think what happened was doors were supposed to open earlier. UBS messed up, and they didn't like how the crowd was looking for the bigger matches. I think they put that on to kill like 5-10 minutes.
Makes sense.
And because I don't know where Renee and all of them were. Usually they're on the ramp. I don't know if they were on a table somewhere else or if they just like bailed on that whole concept. I don't know where they were, but like because they started the first match like 6:45.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like they just did that to get more people in before the bigger matches started. But yeah, I guess we could start with that one. I mean, that was 5 minutes in. That was like kind of a out of nowhere match. I'll scroll down here really quick for those that didn't see. It was Kyle Fletcher versus Serpentico,
I'm
and
so
Kyle
happy.
Fletcher with the win. Nice little few
No
minute matches,
surprise
harmless.
there.
Nothing really did. What?
Yeah, no surprise there. Nothing really crazy. Most of the pre-show,
Yeah.
I mean, the other the three of the four matches I think went the way we expected. The four-way obviously was very hard to predict because you just didn't know which way they wanted to go with that. House of Black going over though, I think was awesome, so I didn't mind it at all.
Yeah, it made sense. I mean, it was honestly a coin flip between those two for me. I figured Kid and Strong were showing like little like defunct stuff beforehand. But I was like, all right, they're not going to win it. Private Party would have been cool, but they're not really hot. I figured it was going to be one of these two. I thought they were going to do O'Reilly and Ishii to like play off like, oh, the Forbidden Door concept of like AEW New Japan,
Mm-hmm.
like sell the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's where my brain went.
gotcha. Yeah, no, it
House
makes
of Black
sense
makes sense.
for sure. It makes sense,
Yeah, so
and it
that
was a
was
great
good.
match.
Yeah, fun little eight man tag. Let them all go nuts. Private Party was crazy over.
I enjoyed your Juice. So we went with about 6 people, and then there were two other friends of friends behind us, and I
Yes.
thought it was hilarious during this match. They were like trying to explain the guy was trying to explain to his girlfriend a little bit, like updating her as best as he could. And during this match, he's like, "Yeah, O'Reilly and Strong used to be friends in WWE. I don't know if they're still friends now. They look like they're not friends right now, but they kind of are. I'm confused. I'm just like listening to him talk about it the whole time. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty accurate description of these two right now. That's a good job.
Yeah, it's always very eye opening when you kind of get out of your bubble and the bubble of Twitter, like, and just know how little fans really do know about
The
wrestling.
casual fan, man. That's what it
Um,
is.
yeah, honestly, I don't even call it casual. I don't like that term. Like, I just you're a fan of wrestling. There's just different levels to it. Like, I hear casual. I think this is somebody that watches like 2 shows a year. Like they come from Mania and they come for Rumble. That kind of person. That's
No,
casual to me. You
casual's
know?
like you check in like once in a while. If it's on, you'll watch it, but you don't like
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
don't read Bleacher Report or keep up to date with anything that's happening. That's what I think casual is. You guys tell
Yeah,
us at
I
home.
don't
What do you
know.
think casual is? What's a casual
Yeah,
fan?
my brain's always kind of been listen. If you're a fan of wrestling, you're a fan of wrestling. Like you're not, like I don't know, either way. Well, it brings me to the next point, like Mariah May versus Saraya.
Great
Was
match.
again another solid match for the 0 hour. But like there's fans that are in the crowd like chanting for Saraya, not even ironically, like they want her to win. They like her, like that's their girl. And it's just funny to me because again, like there's so many people online that like majority of people can't stand her, and those are the ones that are more vocal. And I don't agree with that. I like Saraya a lot, but again, it's just interesting to like
Yeah.
see that and get that. And
Well, also because
yeah,
like some people just don't like the timeless Tony Storm storyline, so they don't want Mariah May to win just because they know that's part of the storyline and they're against it. So that's just that's just wrestling.
yeah.
And then we had
What else?
Statlander and Watanabe. How you say
Watanabe.
it? Watanabe. There we go. And versus Willow and Nakano, and that was another good match. Willow
Nakano.
celebrating. Sorry.
Yeah, that's how I thought it go. Because my mentality is I think Stat's gonna win tomorrow, and this was Willow getting a win. But again, I like that it wasn't either of them the decision. Nakano pinned Watanabe, so it was the right call. What's the other one? Oh, this guy, Los Ingobernables versus Lucha and Mystico.
Yeah, that was a great match.
It was cool. It was good. It was just all very, very solid. I think it was paced out really well. I think the whole show was paced out really well, except for one thing I'll get to later. But I think it was good. I think this was the right match to have go on last right before the pay-per-view started.
Yeah.
I got to throw in a little dig at Alex Abrahantes. I was very happy with that. I told him that he sucked from a distance.
The fans liked it. The crowd reacted.
I was surprised. I mean, I got a little bit of a chuckle, a little laugh from some people nearby, which was always good. And then I missed it, but apparently Abrahantes like heard it enough and caught wind and looked over. I missed it, but whatever. I don't care. I got him. I can always go back and watch it.
I was gonna say, watch replay, see if you hear yourself, and see if he actually looks.
Oh my god. Yeah, true.
And now on to the main card. So the main card was dope. I don't know if we had to go through we could go through most of them because
why not?
We're gonna want to talk about pretty much all of them. Where do you want to start?
I think we can just go in relative order. I mean, the opening match made sense to me. MJF at Cesaro.
I'm disappointed they didn't have the opening video for you. I know how much you love that.
I'm glad they didn't. Come on, like, listen, man. If he was in a big match, I'd get it.
Any match with MJF is a big match. How dare you?
Like, he didn't need it here. It was the right decision not to do it. It wasn't. I mean, like, if he was facing like Swerve or Ospreay, I'd be like, oh, whatever. But yeah, it was fine. Honestly, I feel like he did his shtick, and it was enough. Like, he didn't turn up all the way. He's still only freshly back. He's on his second match back, I think. So it didn't really blow me away, but it did its job. It gave everybody the hometown pop right away, and then he was able to leave.
Yeah, exactly. And he showed up later, in the main event for the little backstage quick glance. Yeah. But I think that was exactly what we need to do. And just need to get him back into the swing of things. He looked good. I mean, I don't think he looked like rusty. I didn't see any like big flubs or anything. So great, solid opening match, and the fans loved it.
Yeah. Next up was the trios match. I believe it was right, the Elite versus the Acclaimed and Tanahashi. We all got that one right.
To be honest with you, that match surprised me. I thought it was going to be a little more boring, and I don't know why. I just didn't think. I didn't think Tanahashi would translate as well because he's just a little bit older. I didn't think he'd be able to move as well compared to the rest of them. But they all did real well. The Tanahashi and the showdown with what's his face, Rainmaker. Thank you, Okada. That was awesome, and that was like a great sight to see, and everyone loved that. So it was a fun match for me.
Yeah, Antonio's Paninis. Let's go Yanks. Hell yeah. I'm with you. Go Yanks.
Antonio's Paninis. Let's go Yanks.
Happy to see you here and supporting us, watching the stream. Thank you very much.
As long as Yanks win tonight, too, I'm even happier.
Heck yeah. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, listen, obviously with Blood and Guts like a month away, they have time. But I find it funny how quickly it feels like the Elite have just turned into a comedy act, kind of.
But that's always kind of their shtick.
Yeah, but not now as the heel EVPs. Like, don't lean into the comedy shtick. Like, you're supposed to. Like, don't get me wrong, they're getting booed. I just feel like there's a balance to it, and they're leaning into it when they really shouldn't be. But whatever. Um, yeah, it was good. I mean, listen, Tanahashi's Tanahashi at this age. He he does what he can do with his hips, with moving around in the ring. It was cool to see Okada and Tanahashi square up like that. I figured Elite would win. Daddy ass coming out for the big pop. It's crazy. He's 62 and he's still that jacked,
Bro,
despite whatever he may or may not be
I don't
doing.
care
But
what he's on. He is crazy jacked. Did you
yeah,
guys hear Sting is in the hall? What the fuck? Shut up.
Sting's in the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Tyler.
He's in the WWE and the TNA one.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think he might be in another one too, but I just don't know which one.
I'm sure. Well, is there any other one that like matters?
Oh, no
I don't
major
know.
one? Yeah, not a major one.
That's all, man.
All right, cool. Next matchup, we
Yeah.
had Bryan Danielson versus Shingo
Yeah.
Takagi.
Yeah, Shingo Takagi, another one that we all got right, but
So good.
wow. Gotta tell you, this one, I mean, listen, I know it's Danielson, but like this one blew me away. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. They went a solid 20, gave it a lot of time.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I knew Danielson would win, but there were times they were doing stuff. I was like, damn, maybe they're gonna go a different way. But it was very good.
They
Very
had
good.
that-
Again, that's the thing. Like it sounds like so like putting it down to say it, like man, but like everything was just so good. Like it's like, oh, this was good too, this was good too, but it's not like
Yeah.
a put down. You know what I mean?
I really don't think there was a bad match for me the whole night. I think pretty much every match was pretty solid for me. I'm gonna, as we look through, I'll probably remember maybe one, but for the most part, I think all the matches were pretty solid for me. This match, and like you were saying, a lot of false finishes, and they did that throughout the whole night, which made every match like, even though we thought we definitely knew, there were times where I was like, shit, I got it wrong. Oh my god, like he's gonna win. Oh my god, like what the fuck? And it just kept happening all night. That like literally, I think at one point you guys made fun of me. I'm just staring at the screen with like my mouth open, just like what the hell is going? Like this is amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you were looking up, like, and then you went down, then came over, then went back, and then went up, and your mouth was open the entire
I
time.
need to make sure you guys were as stunned as I was.
It was so good. But yeah, honestly, like I've said it a bunch on the show here, it's always a pleasure, always a treat to see Danielson wrestle at this point in his career. Just because you don't know how much longer with the full-time year ending and the part-time, you don't know what it's going to be. Yeah, really cool to see him wrestle, do his thing, and get the win in the opening round. So solid.
Great match. Another great match.
Yeah, I think next up was Tony.
We had after that, Tony
I believe
Storm
it was Tony Storm
versus Mina.
Hirakawa. Yeah, another good one. Another good one that delivered. I mean, just everything, hit. Everything delivered. Crowd was into Mina, crowd was into Tony. I love Tony's Statue of Liberty entrance gear.
I was gonna say the Statue of Liberty entrance was my favorite entrance, I think, of the night. It was such a
That
good
was so
entrance.
cool. Yeah.
It was
I
so
really
much
dug
fun.
that.
And then we say this about, I say this all the time about the New Japan wrestlers, but their facial expressions and the way they carry themselves throughout the match, like, just makes it so much more intriguing. And I think that, like, I love watching them because, like, they are just so expressive, and it's great because the whole match with her and Tony, and even Mariah May on the outside, just like the pain and then the anguish and then the love they had for each other. It was just like a giant soap opera mixed into one match. It was hilarious. It was great.
Yeah. And then, of course, how can we not talk about the post-match?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
DMD.
I mean...
No, wait, sorry. I'm wrong post-match. Which post-match was this one?
When Mariah brought Tony and Mina together.
Oh, yeah.
And they all kissed. Like, what a way to cap off Pride Month, to cap off this story. Oh my God! Nigel was standing ovation. Everybody was in awe.
I like how I truly forgot about the three-way kiss.
How could you forget? It was one of the biggest moments of the night. Oh my God, so good.
Brought a tear to Juice's eye, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it was beautiful. Just love.
Oh, that's so funny.
Love being loved.
And then after this match, we had Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy. I would say probably my second favorite match of the night, maybe third. I don't know between this one and Danielson which one I like better. But holy crap, man! Just the way Zack Sabre just kept like, as much as I hate to say it, he was in control like the entire match for the most part. Because even the way he was toying with him, even the way he was trying to get him to put his hands in his pockets all the time, like it was such a like technical masterclass almost. It was great. And then
Yep.
Orange just literally step by step, move for move, matching him every step of the way is just great. He is the greatest wrestler. Thank God AEW happened specifically for Orange Cassidy. Like I don't know if I'd see him as much if it wasn't for this company.
Yeah, Saber is awesome. One of my favorites, and I love what no one really does what he does anymore.
Mm-hmm.
At least on this level.
No,
Like
for sure.
the way he can manipulate and twist up the joints and do these moves you just never seen before. And this was the perfect opponent to have to do it. Just outstanding stuff. Right person won, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, just for the story right now for Cassidy, it's the right move to do. And one thing about this match and a lot of other ones, which is the theme here that I talked about with Kevin in the crowd, I like that no one got involved, no funny business. Like no one really factored into the finish of a match after all the overthinking and booking you do, and you consider this and that, which is fun to do. Like, Trent could have easily came out and did something. Other members of TMDK could have come out and done something. Like, no one came out and messed with this or any of the other really matches besides the Callis thing, which honestly we'll get to that. But like, yeah, I'm impressed by that. It's nice to just get wrestling with a finish definitive kind of thing,
No, agreed. And the fact that it happened throughout the whole night, I agree. Just made that like it made each match just that much more better. Harley would like to correct us. We've been saying the wrong name the whole time. We should have been saying Logan Paul, not Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
for those of you at home, for a lot of the wrestlers when they came out, Kyle Fletcher, Zack Sabre Jr., maybe someone else, I think maybe Ospreay, we just kept joking that they looked like Logan Paul for some reason the entire night. So just to probably piss off Juice more than anything else, probably.
No, it just shows you how little of personality and character Logan Paul has. That so many people look like him. He just dresses up like them.
He's the everyman, He looks like everyone.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
match
so
number
relatable.
11, the Learning Tree versus Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata.
Oh, boy. Can I just say, this was a welcome relief. Now, anyone that knows me and that's come with me to shows, I very rarely, if ever, get up to go to the bathroom during wrestling shows. I don't. I no matter how much water I drink, I'm sitting there like a camel and I'm just chilling. I got up for this one. As soon as I saw the match graphic, I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. And can I tell you, a lot of other people had the same thought process, apparently.
A lot of people had the same thought process.
The long line for the bathroom. Everybody got, because that was the only really spot in the whole show you can get up and be like, I'm not missing anything. So I missed the entrances. Apparently, he did an opening promo where fans were chanting at him to retire, and he got the mic and was like, "Don't tell me to retire. I'm not going to retire. You guys love me."
And
I missed a few minutes of
my favorite part of the match was half the fans chanting "You still got it," and then the other half of the fans chanting "No, you don't." And it was literally like split 50-50. It was so loud. It was so funny to me.
Yeah, and some people were chanting, "Please shut up." And I honestly don't know if they were saying that to the fans or to Jericho.
No, I think they were saying that to Jericho. Jericho Jericho also called himself a hometown hero in that promo, in that opening promo. He's like, "You don't want me to retire? I'm a hometown hero."
Yeah. Well, I was just saying because they were chanting, "Please retire, please shut up." I don't know. Either way, it was just a mess.
It was great. I loved it.
And it's just, I mean, whatever. Listen, to an extent, yeah, it's over. I mean, he's getting a reaction, which is what you want. And when he does the wave to the crowd, you see everyone in the crowd like wave back. So like, it's working on a certain level, but on other levels, it's bad. It's like and I don't think there's a sweet spot he's gonna find. I think this is just
anything backstage is bad. Anything where they have the cameraman following them backstage has been horrible. Anything in the ring has been pretty good, I think. That's just my opinion on the whole.
Yeah, but back to the match. I mean, from what I did, I did see most of it. I only missed the first few minutes, yeah. But Joe and Cobb tying up was awesome. Shibata in there is great. Um, as you can see from the match graphic here, the biggest surprise of the night for me by far. Um, I'm glad. I think the right team won, but I did not expect Hook to pin Jericho clean in the ring.
That was what surprised me. I thought it was gonna be a little funkier and stuff, but Hook doing the juice effect and then getting the clean pin was wild. Like I thought it was gonna be at least some kind of different finish. I thought maybe Joe was gonna finish the match against maybe Cobb or Big Bill, but
Mm-hmm.
no, Hook over Jericho is just gonna set up hopefully FTW title rematch, I guess. But I mean, I don't know why you're gonna put that
Yeah,
title back
maybe.
on
I would
Hook.
hope they do it. I'd hope they do it before All In. Like, no offense to the story, it's a different story, but I really don't need like another Jack Perry
Yeah,
Hook
exactly.
SCW story with Hook getting it back again at All In. I don't need that again. At least not there. That's all. Like, do it,
Grand Slam.
get it done sooner. No, sooner. That makes it longer.
uh, all
Yeah, no,
right.
I'm even glad with the Hook.
Speaking of Jack Perry, our new AEW TNT champion, winning the ladder match against all those guys. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but the ladder match
Why not?
was an insane spot fest, but like not too much, or at least paced well. Maybe it was too much, but at least it was like paced well, where I didn't feel like too overwhelmed with all of them. But some of
Mm-hmm.
the spots were crazy, and something I noticed that I like is that they use like metal ladders. Like they don't use these
Mm-hmm.
wood ladders, because all those ladders were bending, they were not breaking. It was pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, and and I said what I said like a few months ago about ladder matches, but like this one blew me away. This one was really good because they actually felt like they were. I hate to sound like insensitive to wrestlers like talent and health or whatever, but like it felt like it was dangerous, and they were like putting their life, like they were doing crazy shit and putting their life on the line. It didn't feel too planned or whatever. Like, and that's what a ladder match should be. It should
Mm-hmm.
be just this insanity and not like okay, take 5 minutes to set up this one spot between the two. We go away. Now the other two, they're their spot, and then go away. And like, all I kept thinking was like, this is gonna end up blowing both Money in the Bank matches out of the water. I think.
Yes.
Like, come this
Yes.
weekend, like they're not gonna hit at all compared to this.
because
I don't think.
because Money in the Bank
But
is gonna be too planned. It's gonna be too like
yeah.
yeah. I don't know how else to say it. It's gonna seem too pre-planned compared to what we just watched with this ladder match and stuff. One thing I'll say, and I
Yeah.
even texted this to our third MIA host, but Briscoe, in my opinion, was the star of that match. If you were a Briscoe hater or not a believer before, I'm hoping you watch this match and your opinion change, because he was everywhere and he was doing insane stuff. My favorite part, going to what you kind of said a little bit, was there was a part where he like went to go set up a ladder, but it was bent. He still went to go do the move, realized it didn't work, and instead of trying to like set it up and make them wait, he just readjusted the ladder slanted and then just did the move anyway, and it looked, I think, more vicious than what they probably
Yep.
originally planned. So like
Yep.
crazy good match, crazy great on the on the
Um,
fly spot calling. It was awesome.
yeah, and I'm even fine with Jack Perry winning. And it was the only one that really made sense.
Yeah,
Would it have been nice for like other talent to have it like a story driven shot? Sure, but like I never believed anybody else was truly going to win this thing once I saw all the names. But whatever, it was a great match. Um, yeah.
agreed.
So next up we
Next one,
have
I think,
yeah.
was not. I think a match that didn't live up to expectations for me. I was hoping Monet's like. I think it's because I kind of built up in my head. It was the first time I've seen her live, so it was gonna be like
Hmm.
awesome to see her live. And then, this Stephanie Vacor is the strong champion, so I was like, oh, hopefully she seems like one of the top women, so this is gonna be a banger. And maybe it's because of the spot fest that we just saw, but like it just wasn't hitting on all cylinders for me this match.
So this was where my problems with the night started.
And
In
it's
terms
crazy it
of
started the
match
last
book,
three matches.
in terms of like the match order, really, like this should have gone on after Mox and Naito, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I get from a political standpoint, you want your New Japan world, your AEW world as the last two. I get it. But I just feel like it should have been flipped because this is still New Japan and AEW, both of them. You could have sandwiched it right in between it would have been fine.
It's especially because in the Mox match, and we'll get to it, but there was no blood. There wasn't anything crazy that happened. So it's not like you're having back to back hardcore matches like you tend to do, which is why I thought they changed it. I figure, oh, it's a Mox match. He's going to bleed. You want to separate the carnage a little bit. Makes sense, but that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, nobody ran to the bathroom, but like, it's just a bad. It's always a bad move when you put a women's match on after a hot one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as a cooler, it's never a good look, and that made it unfortunate for the crowd to get into it. Truly, I thought the match was good. I thought it was very good. It's still only Mercedes' like fourth match back.
That's the thing I kept in mind when I was like it didn't live up.
And it's probably her longest one. Like, I mean, the Willow one was probably long too, but still.
Hopefully, Grand Slam.
Yeah, but like, and again, my issue, I don't get it. The crowd just turning on her, like, if it really was just because of like she's from Boston, that's it. That's fucking stupid, man.
I really think that's what it was, man. Like, the crowd was
so
just
dumb.
chanting anti-Boston stuff all night. Boston Celtics just won the championship, so I think it was.
Yeah,
just
but I didn't
really
hear it all night. I only heard it during that match.
Yeah, because she's the only one from Boston on the card.
Oh well, you were saying all night. That's all.
No. I'm sorry. Did I say all night? If I did, I didn't mean to say all night. I'm saying that they just won it. So like, I'm not surprised by that.
Listen, man, I hated Boston too. Fuck Boston, but like, I don't know, whatever.
I enjoyed it because she did a great move and she just went right into it and she started going at the crowd and she started doing more tactics and I loved it.
And that's a pro right there to be able to like flip like that.
Is that
a lesser person wouldn't do it?
Greatest female wrestler of all time, right there. Is that who that is?
Yes, as voted on as per the SharpSHOOTers podcast.
If you didn't see that episode, please click on the links below and go back and check that one out. All right, penultimate match of the night. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, I forgot. Go ahead.
How did you forget twice?
I did. This time I remember what I forgot, though, at least.
Go, Danny.
We got DMD coming back to face Mercedes Moné, and that's going to be a great rivalry because I think Britt Baker took just the right amount of time off where everyone misses her and she can be a big deal again and stuff and get back into the title picture. But and I also like that they're not giving her the world heavyweight title for the women's. You know, they're giving her the TBS title to like introduce her more and to get her with Mercedes Moné. So I think that's a good call.
So my whole thing with that, it's a lot of wait and see. I don't know how much I've said it here on the show because Britt hasn't really been on most of the time of our show, but my thing with Britt is her character work and her never being able to really be a heel or a face and just kind of being cool in her when she's supposed to be one or the other. So I'm just concerned with
how cool can
what's
you be
that?
If you're a dentist.
What?
I said, especially when you're a dentist, how cool can you be if you're a dentist, you know?
Yeah, very true.
Can't come over here.
But just after what happened with Mercedes, like it's funny. Like I almost should have known something was stinking up the building because the fact that like a babyface was getting booed, I was like, oh, how did I not see Britt Baker coming back? Like,
but they didn't plan
No.
for Mercedes to get booed. That just also worked out perfectly.
I know. I'm just saying you want to say perfectly, but all I'm seeing is the Saraya story all over again, where Saraya was supposed to come in as the babyface. And then Britt came in as the heel and sucked up all the cheering. And like, listen, I don't know what Britt's
That's fair.
I don't know what Britt's gonna be here.
No, that's fair because outside New York, Mercedes Moné probably isn't being booed, so that's a good call.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna wait and see how things are gonna pan out here with the two of them. But like, if Mercedes is the face and Britt's the heel, cool. But like, the crowd's gonna cheer for Britt because she's back now, and Mercedes is gonna be heel, then fine, flip the script and move on. But like it's the same shit with Saraya where Britt can't be a heel and like she can shoot the fans down with a promo and that's it.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
She's gonna like want the cheer. It's whatever. So we'll see.
But Mercedes will be better. It'll be better with Mercedes because she is a natural heel anyway. I think she's a better heel.
I agree.
Face. So if this is just gonna turn her heel faster, I'm fine with it. Whereas Saraya is a good heel. probably a natural heel, but can be a
Yeah.
really good babyface. Like I like
Yeah. Well,
Saraya
I
as a
mean,
babyface compared to Mercedes. Mercedes isn't as much of a babyface for me because when you have the whole CEO and I'm a boss and all that, it's hard to like be a babyface with that kind of attitude in a sense. But
well,
I
that was
get
the
it.
problem. Like Soraya was a layup. She just came back from like 7 years, neck
Exactly.
surgery.
Yeah.
Like that was like her victory lap, and like
Yeah.
immediately crowd was just like, whatever.
All
All right,
right.
that's enough.
Now the penultimate match. The IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. John Moxley versus, I'm going to mess up the first name, Tetsuya Naito. Did I get it right?
Not bad. Yeah,
Nice.
Tetsuya Naito, you got it.
So this was my least favorite match of the night, unfortunately. And
Yep,
it's just
same.
because Naito can't move. Like, that's just what it comes down to. He can't move as fast. He's not as crisp as he once was. And you could tell that as much as him and Moxley have really good chemistry, and that's definitely what saved it, just Naito isn't at the caliber that Moxley is right now.
It's just crazy to me because like just 3 months ago they were in Chicago and fought where Mox won the belt, and it was amazing. And again, there was no problem. So I think it was an off night. I mean, yeah, Naito's getting up there, but like I've seen him wrestle recently and it was amazing. And like I was telling, yeah,
He
no.
just didn't seem to have like a fire at any point. Like he was doing
Yeah.
moves, but it seemed like he was going more through the motion. At no point was I like, oh man, like he's gonna get hot and he's about to take the match over. It's just like, oh, he didn't move, and then he's just like, yeah, and then walked away. And I was like,
Well, and
what
that's
the
the
fuck are you
problem.
doing?
Like I was telling Kevin during the match, like I've seen enough New Japan shows and New Japan main events. I was like, listen, this is going to go like 30, 35 no matter what. Like these matches go long. Like I figured I didn't need Mox to bleed. I really didn't give a shit that he didn't bleed. I don't
No,
care
I
about
love
that.
that he didn't
But
bleed.
like
I was just surprised that he didn't bleed.
yeah, but that's the thing. Like the
It's a bad
match
match.
never got into its third gear.
Nope.
And if it had 5 more minutes, maybe it would have gotten there. But I think the crowd was probably at that point just like saving a little bit for the main. But again, it was a fine match, but that was definitely the worst match of the night.
Yeah, and again,
In my
I'm not
opinion.
saying it was a bad match. It wasn't a
Yeah, it just
bad
didn't.
wrestling match. It just compared to the stacked card that we just watched, like it just
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that this was a match that one of them had an off night, in a sense.
Yeah.
But a match that no one had a fucking off night, the main event, World
Woo!
Heavyweight Title match, Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay. What a banger! I mean, no other way to describe it. It literally was the match where my jaw was open for 30 of the or minutes of the match. It was crazy.
Yeah. This one was really interesting to me because like maybe it was the 5-ish hours of wrestling catching up to me, but I didn't really get loud and crazy for this one. I really just kind of sat and took it in. Um, like I mean, I cheered for Osprey's entrance because I love his theme and everything like that.
Yep.
But otherwise, I really just kind of took it all in, and I gotta say, like, better late than never. I know I've always liked Swerve, but I know I said what I said a few months back. I was wrong about Swerve Strickland. And them giving him the belt. It was the right time. Um, yeah, goddamn.
He's had a
This
great run.
accomplished everything it needed to accomplish for everyone involved. And I saw the report today. I don't know if you saw this, and apparently Will is the one that proposed this match to Tony to do here because he was tired of hearing about the rumors that Swerve was just holding it until Will wanted it all in. So Will was like, "Fuck it, do the match now and have him beat me clean." Like
That's dope.
I want to.
That's what
Yeah, he's like, I
that's
want to
awesome.
nip this in the bud and I want to put Swerve over. Like that's awesome.
Because I think what's happening is they're setting up. It looks like MJF versus Ospreay at All In, which is
Yeah.
gonna be crazy. That's another match where
Yeah.
it's like that's gonna be a 5, 6, 7 star whatever Meltzer wants to give him at that point.
Whatever.
I'll get you.
But yeah, like just honestly, like I said, sitting back, taking it in, watching like the crowd reacting to Swerve more than just doing the dance, like reacting to Swerve, like you look around the crowd, you see the people in the crowd, like you really start to think of like the younger fans and like the impression that his character makes on them for the world and everything right now. Like I started getting really like bigger and deep with this watching. And it just really hit me. I was like, damn, yeah, he's really the guy right now. This is the right call to put it on him during all this shit and going on with everybody else. So yeah, just awesome. And I'm glad they had Swerve beat him the way they did. Like no Page. Yeah, Callis came out, but like
But
he
that didn't
didn't
do
really.
anything.
And it's good because at first I was thinking about it and I was like, you know what, like. I was like, did they really even have to do the Callis thing? They could have just done the whole match without Callis, but it's good because it gives them still like without screwing him, it gives Callis the whole like, well, if you took the screwdriver without hesitating, you would have blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can
It
still
just
blame him.
feeds
So
that fire a little bit without taking away from the match. It's literally, it didn't take away from the match. It's not like Swerve picked it up. It was a fun little thing between him and Nana, where Nana's like, "Don't fucking touch me." I was like, "Yeah, Nana, kick his ass." And
then I mean, yeah,
and yeah, no,
ref bump though.
and then Swerve was able to, like, you know, gain advantage from that, but it didn't end the match, and the match went on for at least another like 5 minutes. So like, it literally didn't do anything for the ending, and that's why I loved about it.
Yeah, and I mean those like 2 or 3 fake outs at the very end.
Bro,
oh my god,
geez, like even they even got you at one of them. I saw over, and you just looked at me, and you were just like, yeah, like you were just like, damn.
It was so close, so good. Like it was like nuclear was the pop. Like the first thing I thought of, like I immediately went to like when Danielson came out at Grand Slam. That was like when the match started, like that pop.
Yeah.
And then like I was thinking of like takeovers when like the crowd was going nuts. Like it was just that big of a biggest pop of the night by far. I think was like those last 2 kickouts before the actual pin. But oh man,
Harley saying
what
that
a show!
Ospreay doesn't even need Callis; he just should get away from him, and that's what we can't wait for. That's the eventual like big build off.
That's gonna happen.
Question: do you think that happens? And Harley, you can answer this too. Excuse me. Do you think that happens before All In?
At this rate, yes. Okay. I think.
Because you would think if it happens, then that would build up the big showdown between him and say the name. You know I'm so bad at this. Takeshita, thank you. So it sets up a bigger showdown between him and Takeshita, I think. But then is that a pay-per-view showdown? Because they've already kind of done that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they did that match at Revolution.
Does that happen again if him and Cal? Because you have to have some kind of blow off for him and Callis not being together anymore, and he can't face Callis. So the next person he's going to face, you would think, is Callis' number 1, which is Takeshita.
Yeah, I just think it's hard. Like, I get what you're saying. Okay, they turn on him, but then who does he feud with? But like, I don't know, because like the thing is, like, okay, the stakes of the world title are at play here now. Like how much bigger can you really get than this? I mean, well, I guess costing him the international. So maybe somebody new joins the Callis family. I mean, like I don't think MJF joins, but
Garcia. They need a big name, right? Harley thinks they break up before All In also. So let's see. That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Like, okay, you split them up, but like, who is there to feud with Ospreay? Like, there's Takeshita, there's Trent, and then
Powerhouse.
Fletcher's gonna go with Ospreay, the way they're setting it up.
So I don't know.
Hobbs is out here, so someone's gonna have to join. Honestly,
I think that's gonna be that's gonna be the big payoff. Like whoever is the big name that joins will be the night they also turn on him, because that's when they have their next cash cow, or Callis has the next cash cow. So that was awesome. If you wanna, let's get this out of here. There we go. So that was great. As you saw, I went 14-1. Juice went 13-2, and Matt, I believe, went
10-5.
10-5. Yes, Matt had a good night also. So very good night. 15 matches, loaded card. I love it. And then we go from 15 matches of a loaded card to a 5-match card with Money in the Bank coming up on Saturday.
Are we going to take a break or move right along?
No, let's go move right in. We took the ads at the beginning.
Okay, just
We'll
making
go
sure
right through
before
it.
before we dove into this.
No problema. And there we go. All right.
Oh,
So we have
oh no.
5 matches. Now I will say I know you and Matt don't watch WWE as much. I think the past 2 weeks they've picked it up. I'm not counting the Wyatt storyline because I personally hate it. I know other people like it, so I'm not gonna, I don't know. I don't know how to. I'm gonna try to judge it unbiased when we talk about it later. But besides that storyline and the Bloodline storyline, just because I'm kind of over that also, they've been hitting. They've been hitting on some stuff. I know you don't like Judgment Day. They've been hitting with the Judgment Day stuff a lot. They've been hitting with the women's title a lot. The tag team division looks pretty good right now on both shows. So they're not doing too bad. I'll give them credit. The Intercontinental title match I can't wait for.
I just love you're like, oh yeah, they're hitting right now, except for the 2 main programs on their 2
The
shows.
2 big programs, in my personal opinion, are the worst, but other people like them. What am I gonna say? They're technically still hitting. I just don't personally like them, but people love it. Hey, I'll tell you what. Heyman really on Friday took a huge step forward the Bloodline storyline. That like watching him get put through a table was pretty crazy. And I was like, all right, good. Like I'm intrigued. I want to see what happens to Heyman now. Like I don't really care about Solo and them, but what's gonna happen to Heyman?
Probably nothing for a while. He's probably gonna come back with Roman as a baby.
That's what I'm gonna assume. He's off for a little bit. He's gonna go back. But they said he didn't sleep or anything for like a day or two, so he could really get that face with those red eyes and like that really like scruffy look on him and stuff. I love him.
I don't know. I saw that too. I mean, he probably just didn't shave for a day. I don't know, but I like Heyman, but who knows with that one? I saw the same thing you mentioned, but
It's so funny. All right, so let's start off.
we might as well start there.
I
That's that
agree.
match.
Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. 6-man main event. What are we thinking here?
It's not a main event. This is definitely not the main event, right?
I am going to say this is going to be the main event. It's Cody Rhodes and
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like the last chance for the title is probably better post Money in the Bank.
I agree.
With stipulation, but whatever.
So here's what I'm going to say. I agree.
I think it's
I don't think they're gonna. I think all they care about is having that title match on after the ladder match. I don't think they care if it's the main event. For whatever reason, I really think the way they're doing this Bloodline storyline, that's going to be the main event. Also because they usually disrespect the not WWE title and never let it really main event. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that again on Saturday.
All right. All right then.
I agree with you. I do think the title match should be the main event. I don't think it will be. Unless Seth Rollins is winning it, which we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Anyway, Bloodline.
So my question.
Go ahead.
My question for you, if you know, so you mentioned the Bloodline here in your little notes. So it's a 6-man tag. Which one's not in it? Do we know? Do you know?
I believe it is.
Who's sitting out?
Hold on. No,
I'm assuming either Solo sitting out or Jacob Fatu.
No, I think Solo and Fatu are in there, and I think Tama Tonga is in there. So I think who's the 4th one that I didn't mention?
Oh, Leona.
He's the one that. Yeah, I think Leona's that, but I could be wrong about that.
All right. Yeah, because obviously, if Jacob Fatu's in there, I don't see him losing what I think is his first match. I don't even know if he's really wrestled yet. Has he? No, right?
He has not wrestled an official match. This will be his first match.
Yeah, if he's in this match, I don't see him losing. But it's hard because last time, so I look back and I think it was a Backlash or whatever. Like they did Randy and Kevin versus the Bloodline.
Looks like they didn't specify.
All right, well, this pick might change based on SmackDown, depending on who they do or what they say. But I know, like a few months ago, because my mentality was this: a few months ago they did Randy and Kevin versus the Bloodline, and the Bloodline won. And now you're adding Cody to it, who's the champion. So now I'm like, okay, is Cody the difference maker to beat them here, or does Bloodline keep being dominant and going over? So I don't know. Without knowing which three, it's hard for me to pick. Because honestly, I think it's really if Jacob's in it or not is the game changer.
I
I'm
agree
gonna
with
go
you.
Bloodline.
I agree with
So
you. I do think Jacob's going to be in it. I think you do all this to hype him up for his first match, and he's supposed to, and really Jacob Fatu. I mean, they're all kind of the game changer, but Jacob Fatu's the guy that everyone's been kind of waiting for. So
yeah.
I think
I'm just
he's the
saying. I
one.
think Tonga and Toa have probably lost a match already, but like I don't see Jacob coming in and losing like
Exactly. I agree.
first time.
I
And
agree. I agree.
Matt picked Bloodline, by the way.
Yep. Just put his in also. All right. All three Bloodline. Next match, just working our way up. We got, and I said this before, this is the match I'm looking forward to of the night. Intercontinental title match, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Their segment on Monday was pretty good. Just pretty much Sami coming out and saying, like, I know you all expect me to lose because he's this powerhouse and young up and comer, but he's like, I'm gonna walk out champion. No way I'm not. And then they had like a tussle afterward. Braun Breaker, and I don't know how much of him you watched, is so fucking fast in that ring. It is
Mhm.
insane. Insane.
Yeah, I've seen basically anything he's done on like an NXT takeover pay per view. I've seen that, so I've seen like the big stuff
Yeah,
from
it's
him.
crazy. So he got a
Yeah.
spear in, and then he went to go back on him, and then Sammy got the upper hand, and I believe Sammy's the one who walked out with the upper hand. So take that as you will for the results of the match. But
Okay.
yeah. Any questions about this one?
Yeah, so I've noticed. I went to go look and confirm something I asked, I think, on here a week or two ago. So Braun Breaker on the main roster since he came up is undefeated, has not
Yes.
lost, has not been pinned or submitted. Now I noticed his last two matches on Raw, he lost via DQ. How did he lose those matches?
Oh, I believe he DQ'd himself. I don't remember specifically both of them. I know one of them he DQ'd himself because he just wouldn't let go of the hold. I don't remember the other one.
Okay. That's what got me thinking. Because it's like, I was like, oh, layup. Braun Breaker is going to win, destroy him, roll on. But then I was like, okay, if he's losing by DQ because he can't control himself and he's going nuts, I was like, they could pull that finish here with Sammy. Or if he's feuding with someone like Dragunov, is Ilya
He is
playing
not in
into
another
it?
feud right now. Neither one of them are in a separate feud.
And I doubt it, but just to put it out in the ether, we don't know. Ricochet?
Ricochet has said
On took him out.
he has signed with AEW supposedly, according to reports.
Yeah, that's nice, but,
That's nice. Until I see it.
just saying. Could be a
So,
swerve.
do we see Ricochet on Wednesday Night Dynamite or Saturday as Money in the Bank?
One or
Place
the
your
other.
votes in the chat. Where do you think we see Ricochet this week?
Yes, I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn as well. I think eventually Braun is winning the belt, possibly at SummerSlam, and I think they're gonna extend this feud out a little bit. So I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn as well.
Yeah. Also, they're in Toronto. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the big thing for
Yeah,
Sammy.
but
That's why I'm trying to think
WWE,
like,
if anything, that's against Sammy because WWE usually likes having the hometown hero lose.
well, yeah, let's not get into that. I get bonus points if I specify by DQ.
Half a point.
No,
You're at
yeah.
136.5.
Put me down for Sammy because right now my gut tells me Braun gets himself DQ'd.
Okay.
You can just write Sammy. You don't have to write all that.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't. All right. Last chance match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. If Damian Priest wins, Seth Rollins can never challenge for the World Championship as long as Priest is the champion. If Seth Rollins wins, not only does he win the belt, but Damian Priest must leave the Judgment Day. I believe Sal picked Damian Priest. that in there. All right. With the new stipulation, I mean, I think you got to go with Priest. I don't think they're going to make him leave like that. I think they're going to have it more of a natural exit of the Judgment Day. And I think this will also give them an excuse not to put Seth Rollins in the title picture for a while, especially with like Gunther coming up and all that stuff. So unless they're planning to have Gunther and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, I don't see Seth winning.
Well, that's the only reason I'm thinking about it is because, like, okay, Walter's incoming in like a month, and it's like, all right, like you're gonna give it to Rollins just to hold it for a month to give it to Walter when like Priest could have just held it, or that's if Walter's even gonna win it. Like, I'm assuming, but yeah, I'm gonna roll on with what I know from these stories. I'm just gonna say it's way easier to do the Seth step than the Priest one right now. So give me Priest.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. Especially after you just beat Drew. Like, I just feel like it's kind of like Swerve right now on a certain level where it's like prove the reign or whatever. But yeah.
Interesting. Harley says that Rollins wins to set up a feud with Punk that leads to Punk versus Drew. Because I guess
it depends.
Punk and Seth were originally going to have a little something.
Yeah, true. I mean, it depends on what Punk's like status is. I feel like they're keeping him on bubble wrap for SummerSlam.
I think they
he's
have
probably
to keep
cleared
him on bubble wrap until SummerSlam.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He's probably cleared. And they probably know it. They're probably just gonna wait until SummerSlam for him and Drew to happen. And
so one thing I'll say for Harley is that I don't know if they need, and I've said this before, I don't think they need the title for Punk versus Drew. So I think having Rollins win just to have Punk win, just to set up Punk versus Drew for the title, it's just all a big roundabout, which they don't need. They have just a very easy, I hate you, you hate me feud. Let's just kick the crap out of each other. Kind of like very classic one. So I don't think, if anything, that's another reason why I don't think Seth is going to win now, just because, like you said, that would be the definition of a transitional champion for Seth, which is just so silly.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that now. Like, pre-Nia Clash of the Castle, I did not agree with that. I thought they needed the belt, but after Clash, I was like, nah, they don't need it now. So I'm with that too.
All right. The Money in the Bank ladder matches. First up, women's. We have Io Sky.
We are in
weapon.
I'm just noticing we are completely all in lockstep right now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be different here. Who knows?
It usually always happens with WWE. Most of these matches, unless they're multi-person matches, we all are on the same page with it. Io Sky, Zoe Stark, Chelsea Green, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and Lyra Valkyria. This match, I think I've narrowed it down to 3. Really 2, because I don't see them giving it to Io back to back. So I think it's gonna be either Tiffany or Lyra, but I think I'm gonna have to go with Tiffany for this one. I think they were setting her up for a while, and then they kind of cooled her down to let the other feud kind of play themselves out. So now this will be an easy way to get her back in without having to really do much storytelling for her, which I think is smart.
So walk me through what you know about this Tiffany Stratton Nia Jax relationship going on.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about it. I will be honest with you. I haven't really caught too much of their segments on SmackDown, just because SmackDown I've been kind of fast forwarding through, so I'm not sure too much about it.
They feel like they're replaying the Alexa Bliss storyline here with Nia. Where it's Tiffany's gonna be like old buddy chummy with Nia, and then at SummerSlam, like when Nia's fighting, who's she fighting? Becky? No, Bayley, right? I feel like then Tiffany's gonna cash in on Nia after beating Bayley or some shit at SummerSlam, which is exactly what they did with Bliss, or 4 years ago.
Hopefully 6 years ago. I mean, what would make more sense in that situation is Nia losing and then beating the crap out of Bayley. Having like a temper tantrum. But
well, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Like, I'm just that thread is interesting to me of Nia and Tiffany. Granted, I don't like Nia. I'm just saying as a story beat, it's got something. Because the only other person I think has a shot at winning this thing is Naomi. That's it.
Really, I don't.
The only reason I'm
Yeah, I figured they're gonna get someone up and coming, but you're right. I didn't think about Naomi.
Well, I thought of Naomi because apparently Naomi's got like, doesn't Naomi have like low key beef with Bailey or what? I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like there's something there that I'm
No, that's
forgetting.
not Naomi. That was Bianca.
It's
That was when Bianca
Bianca.
was
Okay,
trying to
either
get
way,
Naomi to turn, but she didn't really turn.
I think that could be something. But part of me is also kind of remembering WWE likes to be petty, and I feel like they're not going to reward Naomi with Money in the Bank after like
So.
leaving and all that. So I'm gonna go with Stratton. But I might flip to Naomi. I'll
Really
see
depends
what
on
happens on
SmackDown, I
SmackDown
think, yeah.
and take it from there. But I think Stratton's gonna win it.
And then the last match, and in my opinion, the hardest one to predict, is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Andrade, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. So I think Drew doesn't win, obviously. I think Punk does something on Money in the Bank that cost him, so Drew's out. I think Andrade's out because he is the speed champion and they're not going to give him a double championship.
Not recognized on TV, Danny.
Chad's out because he technically is a ghost and isn't even alive right now. So
He's not. He's alive. He's not dead.
Chad's dead. So I'm down to 3 now. And I'm down to either Jey Uso or LA Knight. I'm not sure. I think I hope they give it to LA Knight, but I could see them doing a Jey Uso turn and like giving it to Jay. Not turn, but swerve and giving it to Jay.
Jey Uso versus Swerve at All In. What?
What? What? Not the Forbidden Door. What was that called?
A prohibited portal.
There you go. The prohibited portal.
It's open.
So yeah,
Matt went with LA Knight. Matt went with LA Knight.
Yep.
You're going with LA Knight as well.
Yep.
So here's, based on what I know, here's my breakdown.
All right, here we go. This might be the only not same pick. Let's find
out. So Drew, it's funny you say obviously, but I don't think so. I think the better call is to do what you're saying and have Punk just screw him in some way. But for the sake of his story, I can see them absolutely giving it to Drew and Punk consistently, weekly screwing him out of cash-ins.
As you were saying that, I just envisioned that, and I love that.
I don't want it. I'd rather the one-time screw over leading to their feud. But we'll see.
They could also do that, where they do the one-time screw over where he does cash it in, he's about to win it, and then Punk causes like a disqualification or something, and he doesn't win it.
Or he wins it and cashes in this tomorrow night, like the same night. Like, I don't know. Either way, so the Drew seed is there. I think there is possibilities. LA Knight, I don't see it based on what I know and what I've seen. It looks like he's pretty firmly in a feud with Logan Paul for the U.S. title at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I don't see him getting the
briefcase
right now.
Winning the briefcase, that doesn't put him in the feud with the title right away.
Yeah, but
other guys have had a title when they've held the briefcase.
I know. I'm not seeing it or feeling it right now. Yeah.
I also don't think he's gonna beat Logan Paul, but that's a different predictions.
Andrade, no way. He ain't getting it. Sorry. He's just a pity entry. Chad Gable, no, I don't think so. It'd be a waste of I like Chad Gable, but it'd be a waste to give it to him. And then Carmelo, too new. I don't think so. Granted, I haven't been watching, but I feel like he's not really connecting.
He hasn't even really been on TV. Like, besides the qualifier, he hasn't really been doing like segments or promos that like people give a shit about. So, no, he's not him.
Yeah. And I don't like it. Honestly, both these Money in the Bank matches kind of look like doo-doo to me. I'm not really a fan of them.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one thinking that. I'm not hyped about them. I'm hyped about the rest of the card more than I'm hyped about the actual ladder matches.
I look at, me personally, I look at this card, nothing is really jumping out to me. I mean, granted, I know how I feel about certain people, but I don't really care for the world title, IC title, whatever. It's not doing it for me. I'll watch it. I'll be watching it this weekend, no doubt, but still, just not jumping out. All that being said, I will go with Jey Uso.
Wow, you didn't even mention Jey Uso in that whole rant.
Well, and that's why, because he's the only one I can't look at and see why you wouldn't give it to him. Not that he should get it, but everybody else has a ding against him, and he doesn't. So it's kind of plus he's on the poster. So
I'm telling you, I like I said, when I made my call, is that I really feel like they could do that. Like he doesn't need it. No one's gonna want to see him win it. No one's. I mean,
listen, I mean, I really don't want to see. I mean, I'd like to see LA Knight with it, but yeah, that's probably really it at this point. I love LA Knight to win it. Don't get me wrong.
Maybe that's why I'm picking LA Knight, because maybe I just want to see him with it compared to the rest of them, because I really don't want to see any of these other guys with it.
Yeah.
Maybe
and like
Drew,
at least I look
again,
at the.
fun.
Sorry, go.
I said maybe Drew, but that would just be for the chase with CM Punk. That wouldn't be for like Drew to actually win the title. Like I want LA Knight to win it and win the title.
At least I look at the men's one and I go, okay, those guys can at least deliver a good match. I look at this women's one, it looks like a shit show to me. Like,
because you know why? 4 of the 6, I don't know what they can do in a ladder match. I don't know how smooth it's going to be. I don't know how much it's going to flow well. Like Io Sky and Naomi are the only 2 I trust in that match that we know can deliver and can step up in big matches and stuff like that. Chelsea Green, for all intents and purposes, is a pushover. So it's not like she's going to be doing amazing stuff in that match. Zoe
she's going to be the chicken shit.
That's what I'm saying. Zoe Stark, Tiffany Stratton, and Lyra, they're all so new that, like, yeah, put them in this situation. I get it, but maybe not all 3 at the same time. Like, putting half your matches with green girls, in a sense, is dangerous.
Yeah, and obviously people feel differently about certain wrestlers than I do, but, like, is Io face or heel right now? What is she?
Heel. They're still heel.
Okay, so I look at this collection of people. I see 2 faces, Naomi and Lyra, who's like brand new. So like, it's a lot of heels in that match.
Yeah. At least the other ones, it's split more 50-50. This one's 4.
Yeah, it seems pretty split because you got Jay, Carmelo's face, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Jay, Carmelo, and LA's face. Yes, that's pretty even. Andrade is probably a face, right? Even though I don't like him, is he face?
I don't know what Andrade is, because honestly, Andrade, again, another one who's not really on TV so much. Cool. Like I just watched Raw last night. He wasn't on Raw. Or is he on SmackDown?
I have no idea, dude.
Maybe that's why. Maybe he's on SmackDown. I think he's on Raw.
I think he is on Raw.
Oh, if he's on Raw, then I don't know what the fuck they do. Wait, hold on. I'll tell you right now.
I think
Jey Uso's Raw. Carmelo, he's SmackDown. No. Andrade is SmackDown. Because Hayes, Knight, and Andrade are all SmackDown. McIntyre, Gable, and Uso are all Raw. They did 3 and 3. So Andrade is SmackDown. Okay. But then that's even worse, because then that's 2 names from SmackDown that aren't really like connecting or aren't really big names with Andrade and Carmelo. You know, LA Knight you have good, and all 3 names from Raw are hitting. Like all 3 are fan favorites in some form. Yeah. But Hayes and Andrade just aren't hitting with anybody.
Granted, I haven't looked back at the numbers to see like if it's ever happened or not, but I know WWE can't help themselves and they like to be perfectly even 50-50. I picked Uso and Stratton because one from Raw, one from SmackDown. They're not going to put both Money in the Banks on the same brand.
Oh, you're 100% right. Shit, I gotta change one of those picks now.
I mean, again, listen. But here's the thing, though, Danny. So remember, one of these could cash in on the same night, and then it won't matter at all.
No, I know, but they usually still split it up.
They do.
Pick more. This Tiffany Stratton pick more. Damn. We'll find out. I'm gonna change the pick in the next few days for sure.
I'm just saying, if LA Knight or Tiffany Stratton cash in like that same night, it doesn't matter that you pick them both, because then one will be on SmackDown and then that's it. They've done that before. That's all I mean. So yeah, don't jump just because I said jump, but.
Well, only one of them can cash in that night. Actually,
true.
Technically,
yeah.
Oh no, because you can cash in for either one. Yeah, so only one of them can cash in that night. Yeah.
Dude, Theory's cash in on the U.S. title. You can cash in on anything. Like,
I would love for Tiffany to win it and then get someone to cash in for the tag team championships.
Oh God.
What was that in TNA? Feast or Fired? That's what we need. We need a Feast or Fired match.
Yeah.
Just for every.
I love Feast
that actually was a great concept for every championship and stuff. I really like that a lot. And it was all random. That was good. We gotta review that. Oh
man.
So assuming, I just want to tell you now so you have time to watch it because
I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna take this off the screen though.
yeah,
Right?
very excited about it. So we don't know when Matt's gonna come back. We're gonna be doing random segments, over the next few weeks until he comes back. We're not gonna do like a tournament or anything until Matt gets back, just because we like to have us all three for that. So assuming we do like a watch along or something next time, have you seen Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Halloween Havoc '97, where he wore the purple gear?
I probably have. I mean, obviously, I'll watch it if you want me to again. I don't mind.
I, was
But
I just don't know. I'm trying to get you to watch matches you haven't seen, so I don't know if
yeah.
you saw that or not.
I mean, I can't definitively say yes, but I feel like I have. But
All right, well,
yeah,
we'll
I'll
think
say
about it.
no.
That's probably my next match for you because that's, I think, my
Okay.
favorite WCW match of all time. So before I get you to watch some like clunkers that were hilarious, I want to keep the streak of good
Yeah.
matches going for a while.
Whatever we want.
But we'll talk about it. All right, cool. So we'll figure that out next week. We will be back on Thursday next week, July 11th. Everyone, please enjoy your Independence Day. Have a great time Thursday. Barbecue, be with friends, be with loved ones, whatever you need to do. Be by yourself if that's what you like. Who gives a shit? Just enjoy your Thursday. Same time next week. So, well, actually, different time, same place. See you later.
Yeah, bye. Don't watch Money in the Bank. You'll probably hate yourself.